Before we get into the next slew of news things that are all Xbox related, I'm going to read these 2 emails first. Because they all are going to go in, and we're going to go hard into the Xbox news.
Yeah.
So this will encapsulate a lot of that. But we have 2 of them here. Grayson from Detroit, Michigan. Howdy, guys. I'm reaching out regarding all the latest Xbox bullshit. Between how you guys have been talking about them lately in Kyle's latest video on Phil Spencer's sudden reversal regarding the release of Indiana Jones. Feels like he made a deal with the devil back in 2019 with Game Pass, and because that deal didn't pan out, the devil has come to collect. And in this case, it's making everything third party slowly. But it really just irritates me that at this point, there just seems to be no actual reason for someone to buy an Xbox anymore. Christopher from New Hampton, New Hampshire. Well, hey guys, I gotta say I agree with most people on this Xbox bullshit lately. Like, what the actual fuck are they doing at this point? Seriously. I was already mad enough this past spring that some decisions I went and bought a PS5, and at this point I'm close to just selling my Xbox and putting everything into the PlayStation side of things. It just seems like there's no clear direction being given. I think Xbox knows the direction, but they don't want to tell any of us consumers that direction. What do you all think? So, and this is in relation to a lot of stuff that happened at Gamescom, and we'll go over the first one, which I don't see a lot of people talking about this, but I think they should, is we finally now have kind of an idea of the rules for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of. Right.
Which basically... Xbox Game Pass subscribers will have to wait up to 12 months or more for some of Ultimate's biggest releases, which I'm not surprised because, again, their whole push and their whole idea is they want you on that Ultimate train. They don't want you to subscribe to them.
To be fair, you probably, if you're an Xbox owner, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. If you're an Xbox owner and the Xbox is the only console you have, if you're not an Ultimate owner, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
That is what that system is now. Like, we're talking about a system they don't make physical games for almost anymore. So I get where they're coming from. But to say it's 12 months or more, well, 3 years is more than 12 months, 6 years is more than 12. That doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. You might have to wait up to 12 months or more. That as a sentence means every possible time frame.
It does.
You might have to wait up to 12 months. Well, tomorrow is a day. That's between now and 12 months. But 12 months or more, that means 13 months is more than... It's every possible time from this moment on is included in the statement. Means nothing.
Not great. It's not great.
One of the dumbest things they've ever said.
It is.
And obviously it's going to go on like a game-by-game basis. Do they want to give you Call of Duty immediately? No, they don't. They really don't. They have to this year. They have to. But
they really don't want to.
They don't want to. And they got to make $69 billion back.
The game that is going to take at least 12 months to come to other versions of Game Pass will be the latest Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. It'll be whatever the next big stuff is.
They'll trickle you the older ones.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But they're not
They don't plan on making money on that from the game purchase anymore, but they do from Warzone. No. That's a different animal.
That's different, yeah.
We're talking about like Forza, 6 months. Gears of War, 6 months. Halo, 6 months. 12 months. Like, it could be anything.
Yeah.
And it really shouldn't be surprising. Like, the Game Pass, even without like day one releases, is still a very good deal just because of the quantity of stuff on there is wild.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of first party stuff. But again, you should already just have Ultimate. So I'm not even sure what this argument's for.
No, agreed. In the continuing the trend of pissing people off, the game Towerborn, which I guess people were somewhat excited for, originally, was a day one Game Pass release. That's what it was touted in June.
Okay.
Is now a limited time exclusive on Steam. So it's going to be exclusive on Steam first before coming to Game Pass because they're going to do an early access thing with like a beta. I think it's in September. But people are upset about that because, again, just a few months ago, this was announced as a day one Game Pass game. No longer a day one Game Pass game.
Don't be surprised if you see more of that.
Well, that leads into the biggest part of all of this, which is Indiana Jones. Now, we have said time and time again on this show in the past year, Indiana Jones would come to PS5.
It made the most sense of all of it. It's machine games. They've made stuff for PlayStation before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big enough. It's not a system selling game for 99% of people. It just makes sense to have it on Xbox first and then put it on PlayStation later.
It is wild to me, though, that they actually put this trailer up at this showcase with a PlayStation logo at the end of it.
That's weird. You would think it would be an aside after the fact.
I thought it would be a press release on their website. Like, also, it's coming spring 2025 to PS5. No. They put it right in their trailer. Which obviously has upset a lot of people. So, and then Phil Spencer's come out, explain the decision behind it. Another thing that came out that I thought was kind of interesting is that at some point they had negotiated the deal to make this game exclusive, and then since then renegotiated the deal to bring it back to PS5. So originally it was not going to be exclusive, and then they negotiated to make it exclusive, and then renegotiated.
You could see why they would negotiate to make it exclusive, because obviously Disney property, they have to go to Disney, they have to work all this stuff out, and,
for sure,
and put something in there where it's only going to be for us. But then whenever that was done, and then now you look at, well, we've released 4 games on PlayStation as it is, and those all did pretty well. And Indiana Jones, if it's going to be a Game Pass game, we're not really going to sell it for Xbox.
Agreed.
So now we're talking about putting it on PlayStation, actually selling it and making money off of it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I fully get why it's happening now, and it's going to pave the way for more games to do this going forward.
It is.
But it's just another shitty look for everything that this deal did and how it was all negotiated and how it worked out and how it came to be. And while we're going to let Call of Duty be on there for a decade because that's not the point, but we're going to keep this other. Well, now we're not going to do this. But now it's also like, why didn't he just announce Starfield? It's like, we all know Starfield's going to end up there at some point.
That was the point I made in the video I put out, was like, why at this point? Yes, will there be those few people that are going to be upset that Starfield is no longer an exclusive Xbox game? Sure, but most people don't care anymore. And by having Starfield come to PS5, they're not going to give a shit about that. It's going to be whatever.
At this point,
they should. I am shocked coming out of this showcase that Indiana Jones is what was announced, and it wasn't, hey, here's a Starfield Game of the Year in November for
PS5. Or it wasn't both of them.
Yeah.
Like, why does it have to be this like slow trickle of we announce one game and then maybe in a couple months we'll do another one? It's
that part is weird too. I think part of it is they're afraid, but like it doesn't matter. You're going to piss the people off whenever you do it. So you might as well rip off the Band-Aid and just do it.
And like they have to understand that things are trending in such a way where it's shades of Sega back in the day where eventually they might just realize like maybe we're just a publisher now. Like I don't think they ever want to get away from hardware because I think they still want to be like the media box for your home because you do need something in your house that can play all these streaming apps. So why wouldn't it just be an Xbox and Game Pass exists and all that stuff? But there's more money to be had and there's more money to make back off of this deal by releasing it on PlayStation. They already released, like stuff on the Switch. They have no problem with Nintendo. Switch. They've had no problem putting Minecraft on other things. They haven't. That's not the issue. The issue is we spent $69 million and we built this streaming service and we don't even tell people how many subscribers we have for this thing anymore. And we've changed the prices and we've changed the rules and all this other stuff. It's like, and clearly something's not working. Like the email, like that first email you read, clearly something isn't working anymore. And they have to figure out a way to justify what they just did. Call of Duty is the justification. We all know that. Diablo is the justification. Like all that. Warcraft and the King money is the justification.
It is.
But in terms of console stuff, we got to start putting this stuff on other platforms, and we got to start doing it quick.
Well, we'll go over the last arrow to the knee, as I'll call it, for Microsoft, and then we'll go off on some things he said in that article.
Okay.
But I want to put this one out there because this once again is, not the good look for Microsoft. So one of the biggest games shown at Gamescom has been Avowed. Avowed, for everything I'm reading, like, people are really excited. All the press of it has been positive. People are really looking forward to that game coming out. Obviously, we know it got delayed. Their marketing for delaying it was very lame, but the reality of that is it just needed more polish, but apparently not in the frame rate department.
Not the way you want it polished, yeah.
They have announced that it is confirmed only 30 frames. Once again, we're doing another Xbox console release, only 30 frames. It's like a rinse and repeat. It's going to happen. It's going to come out. It's going to be 30 frames, and in 6-8 months,
patch.
Oh, here's a patch, 60 frames. Like, I don't understand. And and here we get that, like, well, it's not really necessary for this game.
Do you think that the real argument is it's a Series S limitation?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Right? They all are.
100%. And I think because these are first-party titles, these aren't multi-platform, I think these are first-party studios that are afraid to say that is the reason publicly.
Right.
I'm sure it is said all the time privately.
Because
I'm sure it's brought up to Phil Spencer all the time.
Third-party studios have said it. Baldur's Gate said it. We can't make this thing fucking run.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that is exactly.
But they buried themselves in this Series S crap, and they're stuck there.
Because I bet you if that was not the case and we just had a Series X, wouldn't be an issue.
Hey, here's an argument. Starfield's a single-player game.
Yeah.
Was
6 frames
was
out.
30 frames okay for Starfield?
They just announced at this showcase the Series S is somehow magically going to get a 60 frame option.
Weird.
For Starfield. I think it did I think with the patch when they put out the little vehicle.
Wow.
So,
well, you know what
crazy.
I mean? Like, but your argument's already gone. Starfield.
It is.
Is Indiana Jones going to be 30 frames?
No. You've seen from the footage, it's not.
But it's a single player game.
Exactly.
Shouldn't it be 30 frames?
I think it will be on Series S.
Series S it might be.
But
when they port it to the Switch, it'll be stream only 30 frames.
To highlight these two emails, I want to read, and this is what I went off in the video that I made, and I think you'll agree. Some things that Phil Spencer said in this interview that is triggering. The biggest one, and this is the one that triggered me. And I'm just going to read this verbatim.
Okay.
He puts out there, our franchises are as strong as they have ever been.
Can I interrupt real quick?
like that's all I was going to say for the first part.
Okay,
here.
let me rebuttal. Name one.
And that was the point. I said, so you're going to sit here and tell me that Halo is as strong as it's ever been.
No, Halo was strong 15 years ago.
The mascot, the Mario of Xbox, who is like circling the drain as I say this, is as strong as he's ever been.
He arguably peaked at Halo 2.
Coming off of a disastrous TV adaptation that just was canceled. Right. A game that, has all but been forgotten at this point in
Pretty
Halo
much.
Infinite. Like, people are still, more people are playing it than Concord, but
well,
there's that at least. But like, still, I mean, it is free to play multiplayer. But yeah, to say our franchises are as strong as ever. Okay, like what's another one? Like, when was the last Gears of War? 2020 was Tactics. Okay, Fable has been cooking since 2018, and we haven't had a new one since 2013.
The only game I think you could argue to me would be Forza. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. That's the only argument. And that franchise, I feel like, has single-handedly kept this boat alive.
Has kept Microsoft Studios in existence?
Yes. Because there isn't another franchise I can name where I'm like, okay, this is keeping it alive.
Well, it's because Forza is the kind of thing where you know exactly what you're going to get, and when you get the game, that's what you get. It's never bad.
But to come out and say that our franchises have never been as strong, like no. God, no. I guess the only other one I would maybe throw out there, and I didn't think of it until just now, because I mean, there's no sequel to it or anything. But if you wanted to throw out there for these, for argument's sake, Sea of Thieves.
I guess so.
I can argue that because now, look, you put it on a different
platform.
On a different
console. Yeah.
Yeah.
You injected life into it by releasing it on a new system.
Here's the other issue I have with what he said. That was part one, which was our franchises that strong. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Part two. The last thing I'll say, as an industry right now, there's a lot of pressure on the industry. It's been growing for a long time, and now people are looking for ways to grow. Us as fans, as players of games, we just have to anticipate that there's going to be more change in how some of the traditional ways that games were built and distributed, that's going to change. That's going to change for all of us. But the end result has to be better games and more people can play. If we're not focused on that, I think we're focused on the wrong things. So for us at Xbox, health of our platform, and our growing games are the most important things. So his argument here is that the industry as a whole is changing. And my argument against that is, if that's true, why am I not seeing it on the other side of the fence?
Right.
What PS5 games are coming over to, like, I'm talking first party. What PS5 games are coming over to Xbox?
They're barely putting shit on PC.
What Nintendo PC games are coming over to, like, none. It's just Microsoft.
Right.
And they're doing this because they have to.
They're the ones that have to backpedal everything and delay everything. When's the last time a major Nintendo first-party game got delayed 6 months? And then got delayed another 6 months?
I can't
You
name
can't
one.
name one. Because they don't exist. Nintendo, because you know why? Because Nintendo waits until 4 months before a fucking game comes out. And they go, hey guys, check it out. Here's Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And they show you something you've never fucking seen before. And you go, holy shit, that game looks great. And then they're like, oh, it comes out this holiday. Like, what? And then it comes out and it's perfect. And there's nothing wrong with it. And it just works. And everybody loves it. Wow. Game making must be real fucking hard at Nintendo.
Well, or you get a situation like Metroid, where, like, it was announced, you don't hear about it forever, and now it was announced again. Hey, it's going to come out within the next year.
Yeah,
but they don't give you a date, but you know it's still going to come.
The thing about Nintendo when it comes to mistakes is they recognize them and then ignore them, and they just pretend. They pretend like
they'll ignore it until they will
say,
and then sometimes they will. Like, for example, they did come out and say they did apologize on Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
That was the one where they came out and said, you know what, we did announce that a little too early.
Well, that was a lot of, like, pressure from a lot of people where it's like,
and part of that was,
tell us.
Every single direct.
Yeah.
Are you going to talk about? No, they would actually literally have to come out, and then at some point in every press
they put out a notice before
we will not talk about
we're not talking about Zelda. Like, stop.
Yeah.
But
now that's turned into, we are not talking about Switch 2.
But then Microsoft will come out with, like, check out this sweet dev thing. We've got 5 games in, and we've got Indiana Jones, and we've got Avowed, and we've got Visions of Mana shows up for some fucking reason. And then,
and you go, oh, this is cool.
And then delayed. We're not talking about it. Now it's on PlayStation. It's like, what the fuck was that the point of this thing?
And I should point out, for a year. I should point out, and I didn't even say it, like, because part of it is, will it actually happen? But Indy did get dated here, December 9th. Is it actually going to hit December 9th? Which is a Monday, by the way. It's really weird.
Given the history of everything that's ever happened with Microsoft, no, it will not come out that day.
I think it's delayed till February. I'm still in that boat.
Could it come out in December? Sure. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Because, you know, to go back to that second email you read, you know, I'm close to just selling my Xbox and putting everything into PlayStation. Like, who's buying one? Remember, we've talked about it a couple times. Indiana Jones was a game I would consider buying an Xbox for if I didn't have another option.
Exactly, yeah.
I was the target audience to sell this game on your console. And now you've told me that all I have to do is wait 6 months to not spend $500.
And now I would tell you your next game after that would be Perfect Dark. What is there to say that game will not come to PS5?
I don't know.
Nothing.
It's a rare game, and guess... well, no, it's not rare. It's not rare anymore. Sorry, it was a rare title. No.
Still.
But Sea of Thieves is a rare title. That's on another console. Yeah. It's the same level. It's the same level of, like, second/third party.
Well, that's the thing I argued in my video is, like, they like to put out this, like, oh, everything's changing in the industry. It's like, no, only one walled garden has come down, and it's yours.
It's yours.
Because I had to. Sony's garden is still up. Nintendo's is still up.
Sony's garden is still up when it comes to fucking cross-play.
Yeah.
They barely allow that.
They're just starting to put their games out on PC, and they're still putting
But they're locking them as, like, PlayStation games on PC and locking it down.
Exactly.
So Microsoft is the one that's having to give in when
They are.
If you go back 2 console generations, they were crushing Sony.
Yeah.
The 360 versus the PS3, and people can choose to believe whatever they want, but as someone who worked during those console launches and the entire life of those systems in a video game store, the PS3 was nowhere close.
In North America, it was nowhere close.
Well, but
worldwide,
but we're talking about
caught up at the end.
Microsoft being a North American company, and they destroyed them out of the gate.
Even at the end, like working, because I came in at GameStop at the very tail end of 360 up until the PS4, and I can tell you in the beginning, like it was all 360 reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would you get a couple PS3 versions of stuff getting reserved, and it usually be weird JRPGs that were not on
stuff that don't exist on Sony stuff.
Like
right?
If it was a multi-platform thing, it was 100% 360.
Well, and that's the thing is, I owned a 360 for that. I owned a PS3 to play PS3 games. And then,
exactly.
And then in the Xbox One PS4 days, I'll be honest, I tried to be an Xbox person out of the gate, and there were games I liked, like Dead Rising and stuff, but it slowly became, I'll just get it for PS4 if it's on both.
Yeah.
And
no, it's I went the same way. And the other thing that kind of pushed it for me in that generation was having that year of, here's a PS4 Pro.
Right.
But no Xbox equivalent. And then they did finally do the Xbox equivalent. It was fine, but I still kind of was more on the PlayStation boat by the end of that generation.
And then this generation is just like,
you've been PS5 the whole time.
Microsoft didn't give me a reason.
There's no reason. Yeah, that's it. There's no reason. Like my reasons, obviously, like the ecosystem and everything.
Sure.
But
by the time we've hit this, like I was out on Halo. Gears barely exists. Forza, I'm not into racing stuff that much. Like, but if I wanted to play,
I would want to play the Horizon games.
Yeah, or RPGs are better on PlayStation. They just are. Like
the traditional JRPGs that you want to play.
Yes, there were more of them.
I think Avowed would be. I would argue Avowed would probably have been another good argument for an Xbox.
I would love to play Avowed.
It'll come to the PlayStation.
I would love to play Avowed, but
I think you'll get it on PlayStation.
I have no reason not to think that anymore. That's the crazy part. If you negotiated so that Indiana Jones wasn't going to be on there, and then now it is 6 months later, I have no reason not to believe that everything that's not Halo, Gears, or Forza will just be on there. And even then, you and I have talked about it a lot. Halo should just be on there. Put Master Chief Collection on there. Stop fucking around.
I'm shocked still. I thought for sure Gamescom would be where they'd be like, okay, here's Master Chief Collection.
It's such a huge title.
But it also could be the rumor that they are remaking the original Halo and they're going to do that. I don't know if that's smart.
Either one works.
Yeah.
But Halo Master Chief Collections, it's an instant $70 sale on PS5
for everybody.
Instant.
Yeah. I would buy it.
I probably would too.
Even though I've virtually no reason for me.
I'm not a huge Halo guy, but I do love 1 and 2. So,
and I want,
we could play that.
And that's why I said in the video they put out, like this generation has been weird, where I have almost gravitated back towards playing a lot of stuff on PC to the point that like I'm looking at building my new PC in the spring, partially because like when we get to the end of next year, Windows 10 is no longer going to be supported.
Yeah.
Which I said, hey, that's crazy. And then realized it's been about 10 years.
It's been a long time for Windows 10.
Feels like it's been a blink, but so I'm at that point where I'm probably going to have to
deal with some of that stuff at work. And it's like, God, Windows 10 it's
been 10 years.
Very old.
And I'm like, well, you know what? I just did this video card. I'm not going to buy a new video card. I'll just use the same one that I just got. So might as well just do it. So I just do it a year earlier. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But yeah, like any of these Xbox releases at this point, like I've just been treating them as PC, like Avowed. Well, you just told me I'll play it at PC at launch.
That's the other thing they're quote unquote shooting themselves in the foot with. I don't even need an Xbox to play Xbox games.
That's the thing. Yeah. Like you can just play it on PC.
At this point, it almost makes more sense for them to just do the handheld and release everything on PC.
Kind of.
And PlayStation.
Kind of. But yeah, it's just, what a fucked up place they're in.
Well,
it's not even the holiday season yet.
It's crazy too because you talk about in this email. I think Xbox knows the direction, but they don't want to tell us. I don't think they do. I don't think they do because everything keeps changing constantly, all the time. They can't commit to almost anything anymore.
No, they can't.
And it's strange because they'll tell me about games years in advance, but they won't even talk about, we're thinking about a handheld. Why wouldn't you even just put that out there yourselves and be like, we're thinking about a handheld, and then just do like one of those dumbass things companies do. It's like, well, what would you like to see in a handheld? And just get some stupid field research from people who want it. Like, I don't know if they have a clear direction because they're always working on everything. They're working on the cloud system thing still, which how far ahead or behind is that? Who knows?
Agreed.
But they're always doing something, but it always seems to be, it never reaches the full potential, and it ends up just biting them in the ass.
It does.
Because what is the direction for the next console? Because I can tell you right now, PlayStation has a direction for the next console. It's called the PlayStation 6, and it's more powerful than what this is. The Xbox, who the fuck knows what that thing is?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the direction is. I don't know what their vision is anymore. I couldn't tell you because the vision just keeps changing every day. So it's just, it's such a weird thing to me now when I look at it. And like, this is where we're at in this we're just at this weird point where it's like, at this point, I'd almost be happier if they just went third party and said, fuck it.
Yeah,
we're Sega.
And I think the kind of thing was when Sega did it, you were kind of sad. Because it's like, wow, dude, Sega died. I would be sad because it's weird that I wouldn't have that ecosystem anymore, and I do think that there needs to be competition. Yeah, it would make the PlayStation stuff worse than it is now, because remember, PlayStation isn't God either. They changed the price of Plus and introduced these tiers, and
it will only get worse.
Only get worse. If Microsoft doesn't exist, if Xbox as a console doesn't exist, even if they make the games for PC, it'll only get worse for you if this is the only major console left, because we know the Switch is not one. It makes PlayStation a dangerous thing if they are now in charge.
I would say, like, Microsoft will obviously put out another system. They're going to do this handheld, but after that, I don't know what happens.
I think I think there's one more. I think it's a diskless version of a more powerful system. I think that if there is a plan, that seems like the plan, where maybe it's the size of an Ouya. Who knows? But but there's no reason for them to have a disc in it. Again, they want to be the media thing. That was the whole point of the Xbox One. Is we're the one thing you need. Because again, you do need something that launches Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. If you don't have a smart TV that just does that like I do. So they want to be something, but disk drive is irrelevant to them. They should just make
they're literally putting out that white Xbox Series X all digital in October, along with the 2 terabyte Galaxy Series X that's like, what, $600?
Well, wouldn't you you'd gladly give up a disk drive if it meant you got more storage space? For them.
Next generation. Yeah. Next generation.
Because again, the point of them is Game Pass. It's not buying physical discs.
Yeah. I would tell you, next generation, I've succumbed to the fact that at least for Microsoft, it'll be diskless. Right.
I think PlayStation, you get one more generation of you could do either or.
Yeah. But I also think that they will go the route of you have to buy that separately. Yeah, for the PS6, I can see
that. like they're doing now.
Yeah, that's what I think they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So wild.
A lot of bad Microsoft stuff again.
They just seem to keep going off the path, hitting all them rakes. So